I'm Janice Parker, a landscape architect based in New York and Connecticut. Today, we are in a residential estate and garden on the coast of Long Island. This estate was built in 1913 by two women landscape architects. And it has been my honor and pleasure to be able to restore, recreate, and innovate the garden making that was done here. So here we are in the Rose Garden, one of three gardens that I was absolutely thrilled to recreate. And this one really reminded me of my favorite childhood book, The Secret Garden. This garden was absolutely gone when we got here. We had old plans and pictures, probably around the 1940s. There were a few large boxwoods, but otherwise nothing except these brick paths that you see. A few remnants of the pergola you see behind me that we were able to use to size and create and draw a new pergola as an exact replica. The brick paths were a big topic of conversation, and this is where decisions need to be made, and they need to be good ones. Do we leave them, even though they were wonky and uneven and held water and were definitely going to tear the heels right off of someone's high heels? Or do we take them out, fix the whole garden, and put them back in a very clean way? They would still be old, but they would be more usable. That wouldn't have been authentic. And we were able to make sure the decision was made to keep them just the way they were, despite all of their flaws. So we were able to cover them with wood chips, plywood, steel plates, and drive excavators across them without harming them, to do all the excavation and reconstruction work that had to be done to create the garden. The pergola was such an unusual, small, diminutive, basic dimensions of it. I would never have designed something those proportions, but what I learned from recreating it is that it's good, it's really good, it's cozy, it's warm. I learned so many lessons from those proportions and that part of recreating this garden. And then the roses and the boxwoods, putting those back in a more inventive kind of circular, fun pattern instead of a typical four square was a great pleasure for us. Why are they still blooming in October? Because of how they're maintained. That is 90% of any garden. We can lay out, that's 10%, but maintenance is the 90% that makes it happen. And that's what you have here, a phenomenal proof of what good maintenance and good gardening can do. These will bloom until December. Why? Because of how they're pruned, when they're pruned, and because of the person who prunes them with love. More decisions in the rose garden and all the other gardens. Pebble mosaics, what a great idea. I thought it would be nice to have an accent in all four corners of the garden that was a compass rose. We wanted to have something unique. Pebble mosaics were not in this garden originally, but I thought it would be a beautiful and textural touch. And there were just a perfect accent in the corners to direct you and give you an itinerary through the gardens. And another decision, the gates. What kind of gates were we going to make? Where were they going to hit the top of the wall coping? How were they going to close? Were they going to be welcoming? Were they not going to be welcoming? Did you want to see through them? How was the hardware going to work? How are we going to create these details that would stand up to the weather? Good millwork, good detailing is not exposed to inclement weather, but it is if it's for outdoors. So we wanted to make sure things would live in the frost, in the hot sun, what kind of paints wouldn't bubble, what kind of wood would hold its own. It was a process of research and learning that was incredibly satisfying for us. And I'm standing in a corner where the very big Kwanzan cherries that have been beautifully pruned over time remain. When they flower in the spring, you realize that you always wanted to have everything in your life pink. I wasn't even that enthusiastic about pink until I walked through this garden covered in pink petals, and I realized all my masonry should be pink. Why was I making it stone colored? And also this corner, doom and gloom from the tall evergreens. I learned every garden should have some doom and gloom. It's atmospheric, it's a change of site character, it makes you feel differently. You walk in it, it's dark, it's shady, it's a little spooky. You walk out of it, it's bright, it's light, it's beautiful. The way that you interact throughout these gardens and the passages in and out of them is a big part of the magic. It sends you on a journey, it tells you where to go, and it tells you how to feel. We're now in the lily pool garden. This was the most photographed and most documented garden on the estate. Absolutely classic layout, and it was very simple to understand the intent of the garden. Beautiful tiers, beautiful brick details. Unfortunately, it was also incredibly degraded and derelict. There were no plants left, and the lily pool seemed like we were going to be able to restore it. Once we got a little more into the process and drained it, we realized, and I learned something I didn't know, that concrete can die. And when you put a pen or a pencil into it, it actually turned to powder. So we had to redo the lily pool and we had to redo the coping. And I was lucky enough to find a craftsperson in Canada who was able to make a reconstituted limestone that actually came down, curved under, and went down to cover the tile band. So we would have a monolithic color all the way around the lily pond, which is shallow. And if it wasn't October, it would be filled with the most beautiful blooming water lilies you've ever seen. But what's the best surprise of all is that on center in 1913, they planted a weeping European beech tree, which, due to the incredible care and love that's lavished on it by the gardeners, is surviving the beech blight. So now we're standing in a new part of the garden that we designed that's lined with fastigiate hornbeam trees. They have grown in so beautifully. They were beautiful when we got them, pruned as columns, but they're really spectacular now. How was I going to recreate this authentically? Do I bring all the details in? Do we care? Does it matter? Are there cultural references we want? Do we want to go up, down, and sideways with the design work? We do. We absolutely do. It's whimsical. It has a great sense of humor with it. It's not too serious. We have serious rose gardens and serious gardens all over. This garden is fun. I love this pond. It was such a great experience, one filled with many decisions about how to redo what was an existing small pond. Just a small recreational pond. We wanted to make it large enough to be significant, and we were able to create islands to hold some of the existing trees. We were able to create stone bridges and walks around the pond. Overall, I was very concerned about a waterfall that would look natural. I worked and I worked and I worked on it. And I made the decision that this was not for me. It was way above my pay grade. So I called Anthony Archer Willis, who was absolutely fantastic to work with. And we had bought these boulders in Pennsylvania that had been in a river, and he knew exactly how to place them and make them look like they were absolutely slipped into the landscape. And slowly over time, the plantings really took. This is an absolute pleasure for everyone who visits the estate and the people who live here, because at the end of the day, you want to be able to walk in the morning with your coffee and walk in the evening with a glass of wine and enjoy everything you see and have it delight you. The time that I have spent with clients, with laborers, with gardeners, with nurserymen and craftsmen has been a source of great support and joy in my life. Having the chance and the opportunity to work on a great American garden has been meaningful and brought purpose to what I do and endeavor to bring to all of my gardens, which is some magic, some history, and some love.